Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is we discuss a variety of topics on the social and emotional and relational and financial and business related topic scale. The more we discuss these things, the easier it is for us to master life, which is the goal of just about everyone I could imagine. I wouldn't imagine most people would want to be like, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. But if you're trying to change a habit, it can be really useful to understand the things you have to do behind the scenes that will make changing a habit a little bit easier. Now, these are very theoretical, but they're steps that every person has to go through in one form or another. And so finding the way to make these work for you is important. If you are trying to do behavioral modification to change a habit, positive or negative, in other words, maybe you're an overgiver, that can be a positive habit with a negative outcome, or you're involved with alcohol, drugs, or any other addictive behavior, negative all the way around. There are ways to do that, and I encourage you to reach out if you would like help with that. I do behavior modification stuff all the time. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter, or right here in the About Me section of this YouTube page is my website. You can check that out and have a gander and see if I can be of assistance. But anyway, so the things that one has to go through, I'm going to run through, let's see, 5 of those. First is put whatever you're trying to do into your daily routine. If it's diet, then you need to, kind of map out what you're going to eat a day in advance. Or you've got to acknowledge that, around 11 o'clock every morning you get tempted. Get in the routine of understanding where your temptations are, but also where your success points are. Plan as much ahead as you can within small intervals, 24, 36, maybe 48 hours at the most. But get into a routine that's repeatable. Repetition is the author of change in a lot of ways. When you get to a point where you've done something for somewhere between 21 to 90 days, depending on the psychology of it. So some people say as little as 21, some people say as much as 90, but somewhere between 3 weeks and 3 months, your routine change will become a habit, and it will replace the negative habit. The next is push past emotions. Understand that emotions are indicators, not definitions of identity. So if you're really excited about something, that's great, but don't lose sight of your goal. If you're depressed about something or having negative emotions, that's an opportunity to change what you're focused on. It's an opportunity telling you, hey, I don't like the way this feels. I've got to shift what I'm thinking about, shift what I'm working on, shift what I'm doing, shift who I'm around, make a shift so that these emotions don't take me down the level that I don't want to go to. The next is work with your subconscious or unconscious mind. Now, this can be done through coaching, this can be done through hypnotherapy, this can be done through neuro-linguistic programming, this can be done through meditation. But you've got to work with the part of yourself that's already in habit, that isn't based in thought. So that's the subconscious and unconscious mind. When you can begin to understand the patterns, which is the next point, in those areas, you will then begin to master your life. The patterns can be realized through having accountability partners like coaches. They can be realized through using journaling. They can be realized by using thought mastery. They can be realized by looking at peaks and valleys in your day and just kind of writing down certain times of the day you feel off, and then looking back at what you were thinking when your emotions took a dive. There's a million ways to work with the subconscious pattern and the unconscious pattern and the things that take you down a negative road, but you've got to find a way to where you begin to look for patterns and work within the unconscious, subconscious part of the mind. It's not what we think about that matters most. It's actually what we don't think about but do automatically that we have to go in and change first. We can often convince ourselves, sometimes BS ourselves, into thinking that we're making changes, but if our subconscious mind is fighting against us the whole time, the changes aren't happening as rapidly as we've convinced ourselves they are. The last thing in this is reward yourself. Have rewards, no matter how small, in mind, and layer up. So if you make something through a day, then you give yourself an extra cookie, or you give yourself an extra 15 minutes of music or whatever. When you make something for a week or a month, the reward gets bigger. When you hit the final goal, have that celebration moment, whether it's a vacation or a day at your favorite spa or whatever, so that the layers of rewards are built into the process of the progress you're making. When your progress becomes based in rewards you're getting consistently and they're building in intensity because your progress is mattering, you will rewire your brain to believe that progress is more important than your emotional state, which in many cases when you're trying to make lasting change is a factual truth. So, hopefully this has been helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.